Hi guys, good morning all of you. Welcome to Talk IS. This is Mr. Sitarehind. Recently I am going to tell you about general introduction governance. Governance. Governance can be considered as a citizen friendly, citizen caring, citizen responsive administrations. Governance is greater than government. Okay. Governance can be considered governance governance can be considered can be considered governance can be considered as citizen friendly, as citizen friendly. Governance can be considered citizen friendly, comma, citizen caring, citizen caring, citizen caring, citizen responsive administration, citizen responsive, citizen responsive administration, Understood? It is most important factor to understand the means of governance. Governance, how can you define it? First, I am telling one thing to you, that keep in mind, governance can be considered as a citizen friendly, citizen caring, citizen responsive administrations. Next, governance is greater than government. Governance is greater than governance is greater than government, greater than government. Governance is greater than government. That's important. Next, the perspective of governance identified. The perspective of government. The perspective of government identified the perspective of government identify in the following way, in the following way, in the following way. Point 1, governance refer to a complex set of institutions. Governance refer to the governance refers to the governance refers to the complex set of institution. Complex set of institution. Set of institution. Governance refers to the complex set of institution and actors that drawn from but also beyond the government, but also beyond the government. Understood? The perspective of government identified in the following way. First one, governance refers to the complex set of institutions and actors that drawn from but also beyond the government. Next point. Point 2. Point 2 refer governance recognize the bullring of governance recognized governance recognized recognized the bullring of boundary the bullring of boundaries bullring of boundaries for tackling social and economic issue for tackling social and economic issues social and economic issue economic issues. Point third. Governance identify the power dependence. Governance identified power dependence. What is power? Power dependence. Power dependence. Power dependence is a key. Power dependence and relationship plus network is defined to the governance. Governance identified power dependence is the most important line. Power dependence involved in the relationship between relationship between relationship between relationship between institution involved institution involved institution involved institution involved. Next, in collective action involved in collective action collective action in collective action. Next, governance is about autonomy self-governing. Governance is about governance is about governance is about autonomous self-governing autonomous self-governing governance is about autonomous self-governing, not work of actors. Net work of actors. Next, point fourth. Governance recognize the capacity to governance recognize the capacity recognize the capacity governance recognize the capacity to get things done, to get things done, to get things done, to get things done, which does not rest on the authority, which does not rest on the authority, on the authority, on the authority. Next, government and governance. Government and governance. Government and governance. The term government and governance are sometimes confused. This term sometime confused, sometime confused. This term governance and government, this term sometime confused. Governance is about government, governance is about government, is about government, governance is about government. Next point, government foremost job is to focus on changing the public interest. Most important work, most important work, most important work to change the public interest. Most important work achieving the public interest, achieving public interest, public interest. Next point, public interest. Function of government. Point 1, function of government, function of government. Self preservation. Point 1, under it we will discuss. Point 1, self preservation. Self preservation. Point 1, self preservation. Point 2, socio economic development. Socio economic development. Socio-economic development. Point third, supervision, resolution of conflict. Supervision, resolution of conflict. Resolution of conflict. Supervision, resolution of conflict. Point fourth, regulation of the economy. Regulation of the economy. Of the economy. Regulation of the economy. Next, provision of goods and service. 6. Provision of good and service. Good and service. Provision of good and service. Next, self preservation. Next point, regulation of the economy. Regulation of the economy, adapting sound fiscal and monetary policies is one of the major duty of the government. Next, what is difference between government and governance? Government, government, government and governance. What is the difference between government and governance? Point 1, government, superstructure, superstructure, functionality, point 2, decision, process, decision and process. Point 3, rules, 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 goals. Point 4, implementation, 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 implementation. 4th, coordination, coordination, coordination. Coordination. Next, output, outcome, output, outcome. Next, basic element of governance, basic element of governance. basic element of governance. Basic element of governance. Under it we will discuss point 1, basic element of governance. Under it we will discuss point 1, the form of government. The form of government. The form of government. Point 2. Point 2. Under it we will discuss the legitimacy of the government. Legitimacy of the government. Legitimacy of the government. Point 3, capability of government. Capability of government. Point 4th, mechanism for the public grievance. Mechanism for the public governance. Mechanism for the public grievance and redressal. GRIVANC, grievance and redressal. Next, government good governance according to UNDP is good governance according to UNDP. According to UNDP. Good governance according to UNDP. Point 1, equity. Point 1, equity. Point 2, UNDP के according to UNDP equity. Point 2, rule of law. Point 3, participation. Point 4th, point 3rd, participation. Point 4th, transparency. Point 5th, responsiveness. Point 6, consensus orientation. Consensus orientation. Point 7, effectiveness and efficiency. and efficiency. Effectiveness and efficiency. Point 8. Point 8. Accountability. Accountability. Accountability and strategic vision. Strategic vision. 9. Governance as a socio-cybernetic system. Governance as a socio-cybernetic system. Socio-cybernetic system. Cybernetic system. Thank you very much, all of you. Thanks.